I noticed the satellite's positionings. I said, now this is supposed to be a system that tracks radar anomalies on Earth, right? You know, the whole thing, the movement. Yep, that's what it does. And I said, well, why are half of them pointed towards the outer space? Towards the moon, towards areas that are just blank space. Well, I don't know, was the reply. He says, never thought about it. He says, well, at least half of those satellites you got up there aren't looking at Earth. I said, what are they looking for? He says, well, you got to have need to know about that. I said, I see. In other words, who's coming? He says, we don't know. End of.
Here we have an amateur astronomer capable of catching these things with his small telescope and a small camcorder. As it always goes with discoverers of great things, he has no funding, no high-end telescopes, no high-end cameras. He has found something that through his apparatus that he invented is capable of capturing interstellar spacecraft.
I was at the store one day and I had an old friend come in there. I was kind of a pissy mood. Because whenever you mention UFOs or aliens, people just, they turn their head and they don't want to hear it,
Right.
And I said to him, hey, what's the first thing you think of when someone mentions UFOs or aliens? And he looks down for a second, and he looks back up straight ahead, and he goes, you know what, when you said that just reminded me of something. I haven't thought about this in a long time. But you know where Camp Macajuan is over here? Boy Scout camp. And I was like, yeah, I said, it's up the road here. Because when I was a kid, you know where I grew up, right? Right by the Camp Macajuan. Yeah, I know where you grew up at. He's like 12 years older than me. And he goes, well, back in, when I was about 12 years old, this was like 1969, a UFO crashed out there at these camps.
Yeah.
And everyone heard it, they're living right there, so they all went to the scene. They took pictures of it and everything else, and then the authorities were called. Within a few hours, they were out there. The Army came out, pulled everybody off, like Men in Black or something like that came, like FBI, he called it. And he said that they gathered everybody together and took all their cameras, made them sign a non-disclosure agreement, and was told not to talk about anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Special crew came in with big equipment, stuff like that. No names on it, military equipment, but nothing.
Right.
No one's
right, generic.
They came in, took the stuff off, and then in the Indigo paper, they said it was a weather balloon that crashed.
No.
But he got to see it.
Yeah, right.
But he's 12 years old and he remembers it.
That'd been cool if you could have had a camera that they didn't know about.
Well,
yeah.
The way I understand it, somebody has a camera, or somebody has pictures of it. They get this camera.
Right.
But I don't know if that's true or not.
Right.
But whatever, he got down, whatever. I didn't see him for a month, and then I run into him again. He goes, hey, I didn't mean to tell you since I talked to you the last time about, the whole thing. I was like, oh, yeah. He goes, there was something else that popped into my head while, got me thinking, and I remembered something. I'm like, really? I said, well, what's that? He said about 10 years later, when he was like 20 years old or something, he was hauling potatoes up to Michigan in a truck. And he got up there early, and he got a motel room because he couldn't get in there till the next morning. There was a motel and a bar right there. So he got his room, whatever, and he went into the bar. It was a weekday, it's kind of late at night. He walks in there, and there's only one other guy in there sitting there. And so he goes in, and he orders a drink, and he sits down, so naturally ends up talking to this guy. And they're talking, having some beers, and hooting and hollering, and whatever, and just them two. And getting to know each other, whatever, and he got to ask him, he was like, we found out he was from Pearson. He goes, oh yeah, I know where Pearson is. I've been there before. He's like, oh yeah, you know, blah blah blah. And he goes, the guy asked him, did you hear about that UFO that crashed there? And he goes, yeah, I sure did. He goes, how did you know about that? He says, well, I was one of the soldiers that was there. He's like, really? And he goes, yeah, there's soldiers from Michigan and from Anago Air Force Base. Or over by Green Bay, not Michigan. Yeah, but anyway, 3 of them come in there, and the soldiers to block everything off. And they got to talk and stuff like that, and wow, you know, small world. And he goes, hey, and he asked me, he goes, hey, what can you tell me about aliens? And he said to him, he looked at him straight in his eye with a straight look on his face. He asked my question. He said, do you enjoy your life? He said, yeah, pretty good. I'm enjoying it. He goes, well, just keep doing that. You don't want to know anything about aliens or anything like that. Just forget about it. Enjoy your life. Live, be happy. You know.
Yeah, right.
All right, whatever. It's okay. Fair enough.
You don't want to know.
So they sat around and they had more drinks, and they got pretty schnockered up.
Right.
Well, the guy needed to ride home. So he's like, well, you know, I'm not that drunk. I'll give you a ride.
Yeah.
All right. So they get in the truck and they're heading towards his house, and the guy was pretty drunk, I guess. And he thought to himself, he's like, I'm going to ask him one more time.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about aliens?
Right.
And the guy says, he kind of sobered up a little bit when he said that, and he got a straight face again. He goes, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
He goes, the aliens that are from other galaxies and have a home planet, them you don't have to worry about. It's the ones that live in space. Those are the ones you have to worry about. And that's all he told him.
Yeah.
But
wow.
And that made a lot of sense to me. I mean,
yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess a UFO crashed over there, and I remember when the Air Force the Army came in there one summer back in the 70s and took the camp over for a summer. They were there for a month. They built a pavilion, which is still there.
Yeah.
But it must be where the crash site was.
Oh, that pavilion might not be there anymore.
It's still there.
That storm.
East Camp, that's still there.
Really?
Oh,
Okay.
But apparently that's where the crash site was. But they were up there for a month, and they brought heavy equipment and all this other stuff to build the pavilion. It didn't make any sense.
It's going to be a 3-month...
Yeah, but as far as I'm concerned, they dug up because they were missing something, because they were reverse engineering.
Yeah, right.
You know,
it's got to be at the crash.
So they probably went looking for it, and then built the pavilion and then left.
That's what we'll tell them.
But that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of different stories from a lot of different people. I'm totally surprised. And you know what? And they never talk about it. They're too afraid to.
Yeah.
But I come along and I get them going, you know. Because I get them going.
Yeah, wind their shit right up.
Fucking crazy. Oh yeah, that was a pretty good story. It makes a lot of sense because, if you don't have a home planet and stuff.
You're looking for one.
Well, no, you just like living in space, but where do you get your food?
Yeah.
What do they eat?
Right.
Because there are other beings out there that eat humans for food.
Yeah.
And that's where hundreds of thousands of people go missing and never ever found again.